Live from the Export Beer Garden studio and brought to you by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda podcast for Monday, the 26th of August.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Welcome back, G Lane.
Oh, great to be back. Great to be back.
Great to have you back.
Yeah, I was down in South Canterbury, actually.
Beautiful part of the country.
I pumped South Canterbury with a lot of my money.
Yeah.
So, that's for the people of South Canterbury, obviously. We popped into the Fairley Bakehouse, had a cheese, steak and mushroom pie, an award winner.
They don't come much better than the Fairley Baked House.
I tell you what, the Fairley Bakehouse is potentially the biggest economic powerhouse of Fairley because nothing else was open, really, and no one else had a queue out the door.
No, it would turn over more than all of the surrounding farms combined, I reckon.
Yep.
With way less overheads.
I would not be surprised.
And what I love about the Fairley Baked House, which is a great place to go when you are Fairley Baked, is that they have not done anything to the layout of the...
Oh, no, it's rural cafe through and through. The chairs, the tables, everything.
Despite the fact that it is so popular... There's always a queue out the door. They haven't done anything about that queue. They haven't put anywhere for you to stand. There's no ropes or anything. No. If you want to queue up in on the street, go for it. Yep. They don't care. And that's what I love about the Fairley Bakehouse. It's not going to turn its back on who it is, and it's also not going to assume that success is going to keep going. Because the moment they put all that stuff in, everyone would stop going there, I reckon.
It's just the Range Rover parked out the back. That's the only giveaway.
That's the key. Yeah,
that's the only giveaway. Plus, I did a really good tiki tour. Was in Tekapo, doing Twizel.
Yeah.
I went up Round Hill. Just spent some more money up there.
Mount Dobson? Did you get to Dobbo?
Oh, Dobbo was closed. Dobbo was suffering a little bit from the wind direction. And I was quite thankful for that because that would require chains.
Yeah.
And, chains are one of those real demasculating things. To try and put on chains in the freezing cold, wet. And you watch the video. I remember watching the YouTube video.
And
it was this young lady, and she was going, "This is how you do it." And I did notice a lot of jump cuts. She goes, you just thread that round there, boom, up the back, and it's done. I'm like, no. And then I watched another one of a guy actually just with his mate filming, and he's on his back under the car, covered in mud and shit, and swearing, "Fuck, get a fucking change, fuck." And that was much more on my level because I was like, see, that's more realistic.
See.
That's more realistic.
So if you yell at your son for holding the phone wrong, then it'll get on a bit quicker. Jerry talked about this last week. He was saying that his wife is an expert. She's just got a knack for being able to put chains on.
That's hot.
It is. But unfortunately, everyone that drives past him just gives him the biggest evils, or people who walk up to him and just be like, "Are you just letting your wife..." Like, he'll be in the passenger seat warming his hands on the event.
I did suggest that to my 12-year-old son. I said, if you guys want to make some money, you go out there and just get a pair of overalls, some gloves, just prepare to get completely covered in mud, but become a ninja at putting on chains and charge people $20. I'll pay.
They've got money.
Don't worry about that. And just be ninjas on the slopes. Plus, when you're a bit older, not a bad place to pick up.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The car full of potential suitors coming up the mountain in distress.
17, 18.
Yeah, out of the mist.
Yeah.
Comes Ralph Lane.
Yeah.
His overalls.
Just between 6th and 7th form there.
Yeah, he's 6'3" probably by then. He's like, you guys need a hand with these chains? It's on the house. So.
Yeah. What are you guys up to later?
Yeah, come down to, what's that? And, we were talking, all the dads were talking about this, not with the children, obviously trying to relive our youth and what we should have done when we were younger. But that's going to be my goal before my son turns 16, that he is going to become a ninja.
Well, you've got to figure out how to do it first.
That's an issue too. I was in the driveway in Tekapo, and if you were staying next to me, you would have heard me going, "Fuck! How do you fucking?" You get little cuts in your top of your fingers as well, and then it starts. And the instruction, anyway, I eventually did it. I eventually got there and put them on and then promptly took them off again and decided not to go up Dobson because it required chains.
The locals would be like, fucking, here's another Aucklander.
Correct. They were. I met a lot of great locals, though. I met the lovely Josh from Oamaru. He was in Ohau Lodge with his new girlfriend.
Go on, Josh.
Yeah. It was their second date, was going up the mountain and going skiing.
What a powerful second date.
Yeah, I know. And
that's a high bar he's set.
Lottie was her name. What was more powerful was he came down the mountain to Ohau Lodge, he had a couple of beers with us. A couple of beers turned into about 8 beers, and he had to stay the night at Ohau Lodge.
Oh.
And so did Lottie. So the second date was an overnighter in the Ohau Lodge.
And was Lottie as peeled as Josh was?
Not really. She went to bed early and Josh stayed up till the wee hours with us. So
she went to bed and rung her best mate and was just like, right, so now we're having to stay here. Okay, he's wasted.
She was from Belgium.
Oh.
Yeah, she was a dairy farmer from Belgium.
Wow.
Working in, got her first gig in Invercargill and then got the second one in Oamaru.
Jesus.
Not sure it's an upgrade.
Yeah. Does she go directly to hell after that? Like, what's the trajectory there?
Young 23-year-old thrusters, they were great fun. It was refreshing to see someone with little care about turning up to work the next day because that was a Sunday.
Oh, shit.
No, what was it? It was a weekday. That's right. It was a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Right.
Yeah. So
he was going to drive back to Oamaru, presumably.
Yeah.
From that's quite a trek.
An hour and a half or so, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I mean, like before work,
yeah,
I suppose that's an average Auckland commute. No, that is quite a common thing. I've seen a few people do it at the Methven pub, the Brown pub. I've seen dudes stay there overnight and then go to work in Ashburton the next day. You can have yourself a beautiful holiday down there in South Canterbury at the moment, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We prefer the more the Blue Pub. We were more a Blue Pub vibe.
Yeah, you would be blue. Was there a band going at the Blue Pub?
There was later on, but we'd skedaddled by then because we had to feed 9,000 kids. Anywhere we went, it was like locusts. They'd go and just anything that wasn't bolted down would be in their pocket, like hot chocolates, sugar sachets, just anything to just keep them going. But the hot pools are nice in Methven.
No, I haven't tried out the hot pools in Methven yet.
Very different experience as a hot pools, and you have sessions, which is quite good. So you book the 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. session.
Oh, yeah.
And you get 2 hours, but it limits the numbers. And they've got a bombing pool. So in amongst it, they've got it's only about the size of a spa pool, but it's 2.5 meters deep. And then they have a platform, and it's just like, fill your boots. So basically all the dads and all the kids spend an hour just emptying that little bucket. Yeah. It was mean.
That's perfect. It's like, because there's always signs, don't jump in the pool, don't dive, blah, blah, blah. People are going to do it.
Yeah, and also one of the other little kids, Freddie, was just running round and around the pool. And I was like, what are you doing? He goes, there's no sign saying you can't run. And he was just running round and round. And I was like, well, fair play. Fair enough.
You are still just as likely to slip over and crack your head.
Well, there was no sign, so he was into it.
Fair enough. So a good holiday down there in South Canterbury.
It was great. I love it. I had a great time down in South Canterbury.
They betrayed me over the weekend, South Canterbury, the rugby team.
Did they lose?
No, they didn't. They won, but by too much. They were playing Whited Upper Bush, who had a plus 25.5 head start. I was like, that is a lot of points in a rugby union game. So I took that, and South Canterbury thumped them like 63-30 or something.
Yeah, can't rely on the bush.
You can't rely on the bush. You never have been able to, certainly not in 2024. And so my league missed, I believe, another one of our tips as well. It was Smashing Eagle. One of our tips from the sportsbook on Friday was the only one of our tips that we tipped out that missed the top 4, and that's because it died.
Yeah, look, that happens.
From time to time.
From time to time, yeah, I just had enough.
Heart attack out of the gate. And I'd like to issue an apology to the ownership group of Smashing Eagle and of course to the horse itself as well. When you become part of the ACC Sportsbook, powered by the TAB, it can feel like you have the weight of the nation on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And for some horses, that's too much. And unfortunately for our dear friend Smashing Eagle, it was a little bit too much on the weekend. And so I think that we need to be a little bit mindful about the power that we're exercising on that podcast.
We need to take some responsibility, don't we?
That's right. And, again, I put 25.5 point head start on Whited Upper Bush. They got humped. And they're lucky they all made it out alive, I think. Joe Jury punted on your behalf. And he bet on Canterbury to beat Auckland in the NPC. And they did.
Oh, so, did they?
They did. Does that count as a win for you?
Yes, I think it does. It's my punt, so I'm going to take it. So, have you done run the numbers yet on who's? Have you gone into the archives?
3 in a row now, so I think I'm well out in front.
Okay, that's good
at this point. But no, I haven't. I'm still waiting. I'm just praying that there's some train spotter out there who wants to go back through and crunch the numbers. Otherwise, I'm going to make Ella do it. The greatest New Zealander of all time. We're in the second round now.
Oh, no, I've seen some spicy matchups.
The weekend was a bloodbath. Over the weekend, Stacey Jones beat out Jason Gunn.
Yep.
Which I honestly thought the weight of popular opinion was with Jason Gunn. Because he was the only one of these people who's genuinely gotten involved.
Yeah.
Stacey Jones was here for a press conference on Friday morning, and Matt Heath was like, geez, how'd you manage to get Stacey in for the greatest New Zealander of all time?
No, he's like, no.
No, he's here to announce the Kiwis schedule. Anyway, Stace took out Jace. Dave Dobbin beat the Mad Butcher.
Yeah, I'm not surprised there.
Dave Dobbin's beloved, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. It's going to be hard to beat.
Charles Upham also going to be hard to beat. He took out Baz.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of polls where Baz was in front, and I was like, I did think, shit, if Baz actually beats Charles Upham, that's going to be controversial.
We're up over like 1,000 votes on each social media platform now.
That's good
for each matchup.
And what's today?
Today is quite ironic. We've got Lisa Carrington versus Paddles.
Ooh,
Lisa v Paddles. It's quite an ironic matchup.
Like what you did there.
So look, I don't know. I think recency bias. Lisa Carrington.
I don't know, but then you've got the knowledge bias as well in terms of probably more cricket fans than there are kayaking fans.
I thought you were going to say she doesn't know much.
No. I'd say the majority of our audience probably into cricket.
Yeah, definitely.
Not so much paddling.
No.
More paddles than paddling.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, we're not the AKC, Alternative Kayaking Collective. So, yeah, I don't know. This one I think I can't split it. I think it's going to be another one of those Facebook versus Instagram ones.
God. Okay. Well, I'm glad we're getting to the spicy rounds because there was a lot of criticism going in that first round, but now it's settled down.
No, the criticism's still coming
good.
in.
That's
good.
Good.
Fast.
Excellent.
Every single matchup, someone comments and says this should be the final. That's how we know we've got a good bracket on our hands. And also they're getting more and more ridiculous. I think the Four Square guy's going to have to face Charlie Upham at some point.
Oh,
you know. And people are really going to have to wreck their consciences.
Is that Charlie versus Charlie? Is his name Charlie on Foursquare?
I think it is, yeah.
Battle of the Charlies.
Battle of the Chucks. All right, go on to Facebook or Instagram and have your say. Influence the comments if you can. We're going to take a quick break, come back and talk about all the sport that happened over the weekend. We'll start with, and look, we'll address it more on the Mad Monday podcast this afternoon, myself and Ben Hurley, but Sean Johnson Stadium couldn't quite get it done in the last home game. But I went out there and it was a hell of an experience. It was packed out. Like every game's been a sellout, but it's usually people rocking up almost like after the whistle's blown, there's still people pulling up. But this was packed out from the get-go. You would have seen on social media there was a video of me trying to give a man a pie, and he turned his back on the pie. And I think that was his cardinal sin. It hit him in the back of the head.
So did he... just get that clear, because I just thought you were just throwing pies at people's heads. I'm looking on the outside in. I was just perusing social media, and I saw you throw a 4-20 Traveller into the side of a fan's head.
Yeah.
Now, is your excuse that he was supposed to be expecting it and turned his back?
Yeah, my excuse is he asked for it. He when we came down, we had 50 of these Traveller pies from 4-20. And we opened the box and immediately people were like, oh shit, when they heard that we were giving pies away. I was like, can you just wait 1 second? I've got to film something to tell people that we've got these pies to come down and grab them. So I was like, just wait a second. And I did my little spiel. Hey, we've got 50 pies, come down and grab one, just like this guy here. And then I went to tap and pass it to him. By this stage, he'd turned his back. So it just whistled into the back of his head, and it was going so fast that it hit him in the back of the head and then bounced over his head. His mate caught it. They all erupted in celebration. Someone hugged them, and as they hugged them, the pie exploded all over the guy's puffer vest.
I saw that photo too, because I was like, because part of me, it's very hard to put that story together on a series of photos. Yeah. That video, and then the next photo was pie all over his puffer. And I'm like, how the fuck did he get it from the back of his head to his puffer?
Different guy.
Yeah.
Different guy. And so, he had a steaming hot thermonuclear 4-20 pie grease just all up his puffer jacket. And if you're going to get a pie gravy all over your jacket, it might as well be a 4-20. But they did not last long. Man, people were excited.
They would have been.
There was this one guy who came in with his family and he was just like, we genuinely just walked in and were like, right, let's go and find the 4-20 pies and we'll go and buy one of those, first order of business. And then I was like, well, how about I just give you some? Yeah. They couldn't believe it.
Excellent.
So the game itself was a little bit disappointing, and I think from the get-go, like Sean Johnson dropped it with his first touch of the ball.
Ooh.
Emotions were just so high. But like I said, me and Hurley will break that one down.
Can I mention what you sent to me?
What did I send to you?
It's pissing down with rain here, dogs 13+. And you know what? I did, and I won.
Yeah, look, treasonous beer.
It was treasonous, but I was in South Canterbury. I was doing what South Canterbury do, and just punt on the Warriors losing 13 plus.
Yeah, that's right. It's happiness insurance. Like I always say, I don't bet on or against the Warriors because I'm too emotionally invested. But as soon as I saw the rain, and it was pissing down too, I was like, yeah, she's all over here. Lydia Ko won another bloody golf tournament. She's doing it for fun these days, isn't she?
Oh, how good. So good. She was in third place, I think, coming up to the final round.
Yeah, and then I think even right towards the end, she birdied the 18th, and then Nelly Corder dropped a shot. I think whoever was in third place dropped like 2. And then all of a sudden, our girl's winning by 2 strokes.
She's got ice in her veins these days.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the point of your career, because you said she's going to retire at 30 or...
Yeah, shit, that's what she said.
Yeah, it's like
that's what she said.
It's like she's got no qualms. It's like, oh, fuck, if I win, I win.
I am a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's almost... And the confidence. And also, how freaking cold does it look in Scotland? It's still technically summer. It's August, June, July, August. We're in summer still. It's not. Yeah. That is not autumn. She's got earmuffs on.
Apparently, the earmuffs, man. Like, if you know you're about to win, bin the earmuffs. You don't want that memory for the rest of your life.
I don't know. I quite liked it.
Did you like the earmuffs?
I almost say you could block everything out. I quite liked it. Maybe she's susceptible to getting cold ears.
Oh, mate, it looked... Well, apparently the wind was the biggest factor there. It was windy as hell. Yeah, so funny that's where golf came from. Not like some beautiful... pastoral, like Mongolia would make sense, I don't know.
Yeah, but the rumour is that it's 18 shots of whiskey in a bottle. That's why keep yourself warm. You're just taking nips of whiskey the whole time.
It's so fucking cold. Well, they didn't have earmuffs back then, did they? So
no,
they would have had to. Anyway, so that was the were they just calling it the Open? That's the one at St Andrews.
Yep.
And what in August? She obviously won the gold medal, qualified her for the Hall of Fame. Youngest ever to do it.
And then doubled down and going, yeah, shit, I'm in the Hall of Fame.
Golf seems to be one of those sports that's like, you go on a run, you know, dudes it was John Rahm recently, it's Scheffler at the moment, and dudes just go through.
It was Jordan Spieth. Remember when Spieth won like 4 in a row?
Yeah.
Well, it seemed like 4 in a row.
And they go through, even Brooks Koepka, and then they go through these runs and then they drop off. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what to put it down to, but it does seem like once it's you're on. Yeah. And right now it's Lydia Ko. Why wouldn't you retire by the time you're 30? She won 2.8 mil for this. So how much has she won over her career? Plus, apparently her hubby's doing all right for himself too. Mm. So it's not a financial thing. She's already a Hall of Famer.
But if it's not a financial thing, why not just go around the world playing golf?
Well, because she's also achieved everything.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? I don't know what she's got left to do. She's clocked it.
Pick up another sport. What other sport would she be good at?
Cricket?
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
hand-eye. Great hand-eye.
Didn't Ash Barty pick up a golf club when she stopped playing tennis?
She did.
Maybe Lydia Ko could play tennis.
There you go.
Her and Lulu's son. SVG, to the motorsports desk now. SVG has been confirmed to be a full-time driver on NASCAR for 2025.
He's fast.
He's fast. That burger man, I don't know his name. All I know is he's fast. And it got me thinking, my relationship with Motorgames is well documented on this podcast. Not a fan of them. But I think if there was ever one that I could get behind, it would be NASCAR, because it's just all of the off-field stuff just seems so... Obviously, there's the whole Talladega Nights of it all and all that kind of stuff. And look, I know my main complaint about Motorgames is that it's boring. No one ever gets overtaken on the tracks, and arguably NASCAR's the most boring of those. But, no one's getting overtaken in Formula One either.
That's a lie. Lando Norris won.
Oh,
he won on the weekend.
Right, didn't he start from pole position?
Yeah, but he's beaten Van Strappon. He beat Van Strappon.
Right, but no one got overtaken.
No.
Very cool. Anyway, NASCAR 2025. We in the office have been kicking the football around about what we're going to do with next year's beer garden tour.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't made a decision yet. I don't even know if it's our decision to make. But I've done some research.
Yes.
Talladega is on 6th of October this year. So it'll be about then next year. That is right in our wheelhouse for sporting events.
Talladega Nights.
Let's do Talladega Nights over there in Talladega. We can watch SVG compete in his first Talladega Nights.
Oh, yeah.
The next export beer garden tour of Talladega.
So do you think Americans get dressed up as Ricky Bobby and go to Talladega?
Definitely. There'd be some of them. There'd be some of them.
Because I'm picturing we'll turn up 20 of us dressed as Ricky Bobby and they'll look and we'll have the shit beaten out of us.
They'll be like, our culture's not your costume.
Yeah.
That's cultural appropriation.
We hate that movie. That movie. and just beat the crap out of us.
That movie set us back.
Yeah.
Oh, look, if Stephen McIver can go to Bathurst in a salmon shirt and loafers.
Yeah, but he didn't survive though, did he?
No, he didn't.
He hardly survived. He just came out of that.
Then we can go dressed as Ricky Bobby. I reckon Talladega Nights, it's right in our wheelhouse, right there. You could try and convert me to Motorgames.
How do they even accommodate all those people there? Because don't they have like
It's hundreds of thousands.
200,000 people there? Like, is it a big campsite? Jesus, imagine that.
A trailer park, I would imagine.
Motorhomes.
Yeah.
Oh.
There'd be a tailgate beforehand.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be an experience, a cultural experience, to go to Talladega Nights?
Jeez, where is Talladega anyway?
I want to say America, if I had to guess. I don't know. Speaking of America, this is another segue for those of you playing at home. The America's Cup. We are competing in the preliminary regatta.
Competing?
We're in it. So for those of you not familiar with it, we don't have to be in it because whoever wins that regatta, I think there's another regatta, then the winner of that competes against us for the America's Cup.
Yeah, so this is a preliminary one, and then there's the Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
And the Louis Vuitton, who wins that, goes in races in the final against New Zealand.
Against us. So we're in regardless.
Yeah, but I think we're looking for a bit of match practice.
Match practice, also getting used to the conditions.
Yeah.
Because it's, we've had to take it over to Barcelona, so we don't have a home field advantage. But also more than that, because I initially saw this, I was like, what's the point? But more than all of that, we need to try and win this to demoralise them because presumably that knocks someone else out from competing.
Well, no, what it does is it's also what they're doing is sandbagging. So over the weekend, 3 of them pulled out of the New Zealand race. So the first one, they went, there's something wrong with the computer. Second one, a very unusual splashdown at the start from Ineos Britannia or whatever. And then the third one, the French were like,
why?
I got something wrong with the boat.
And it's is it because they've got some tactics, strategies, or
this is the rumour. The rumour is they don't want to give New Zealand an advantage. So this is the rumour. This is whisperings.
Yeah.
That they're sandbagging because they don't want to give New Zealand any advantage, and all the challengers have come together and go, fuck those guys, don't give them anything.
Well, the advantage is we're going to be in the final whether they want us to be or not.
I know. So they want the least amount of advantage. So be interesting to see how it all goes. And you know what? My care factor for it is pretty minimal. It happens in the middle of the night. I don't care.
But when we get into the America's Cup in earnest, will you?
Yeah, maybe I will. But
I'm feeling the same.
But what's this? But maybe I probably will get into it. But then part of me is like, fucking Graham, whatever his name is, Dalton. He's going to take it to Dubai after this.
Yeah.
Like, are they guaranteed if we defend it in Barcelona, is it coming back to Auckland?
No.
They haven't said that.
They haven't said that, no.
So my care factor's gone even smaller. I don't care.
They
look cool as shit. I'll give you that. The boats look mean.
But unless it's here in New Zealand.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's like even cricket doesn't travel that well. If it's in the middle of the night, you won't really watch it.
Nah.
Sailing has to be out your fucking window, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It's the fact it's in Barcelona, the fact they've taken it away for the money and the money only, and they said, the only reason we could put the team together is we took it over there. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Keep telling yourself that. But
you couldn't have done it in Aussie, somewhere closer?
Yeah, I don't know. They just gave it to the highest bidder. But if they gave it to the highest bidder, they would have gone to Jeddah. They would have gone to Saudi somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's my fear for the next one is we'll win it, we'll be all happy, we'll put a parade on, and then it'll go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm ambivalent. I don't know how to feel about it.
No.
Yeah.
Joe Jury did propose this morning that we put an embargo on the America's Cup. Just don't talk about it on the agenda at all.
Well, I don't think we have to till the actual final.
Right.
I don't really care who we race against.
We'll park it there then. But speaking of racing, have you seen the Australian 16-year-old who's setting records aflame over there? His name is Gout Gout.
Gout Gout.
Yep. Not a name that you would think is conducive to running fast.
Gout.
Yeah. Gout Gout. Here's an Australian 16-year-old. He has run a 10.2 over 100 metres, which is fucking quick.
Yeah.
For a 16-year-old. Like, that is... I don't think that'd be far off what our man Noah Lyles ran in the 100 metres. And I watched the footage of it as well. He's
16.
He's 16, yeah. And he's like 20 metres ahead of everyone else when he finished. That is outrageous.
Let's hope he doesn't get gout.
Well, this is the issue. They were comparing his speeds. The only other person who was as fast as he was is when they were his age was, you could guess,
Usain
Bolt. That's right. What I found bizarre about the sprints at the Olympics was that in 100 years, we've only taken a second off the time.
Yeah.
And they put that down to the tracks and the shoes are better. Is probably enough, for that 1 second. But humans aren't any faster. Have we just reached... I also watched the high jump from like the 80s. They were jumping the same height.
Have the drugs got better?
Well, obviously not by enough because they've only taken a second off.
Speaking of which, Netflix have got an Untold Hall of Shame doco.
Oh, yeah.
And it's on Belko, the guy who was giving all the drugs to Marion Jones, to guy, is it Tim Montgomery? Barry Bonds,
Tim Bat,
all the MLB players.
Yeah, right.
It's really interesting. It's a very interesting doco if you want to go and watch that.
Yeah.
He basically invented a new drug that was untestable. I called it clean, and he turned it.
He called it clean.
Yeah, it was called clean, and
they've tested positive for clean.
And it turns out in a clean bottle, just under the tongue, and also a cream that was full of steroids that you'd rub on your skin on the outside. So it's really weird. You should watch it. So it delves into the whole Barry Bonds, Maguire.
Yeah.
Remember that couple of years where everyone was hitting Basquillian home runs?
Oh, mate, go and watch the NBA from the early 2000s. Those dudes look like bodybuilders.
Yeah.
It's like, what were the testing protocols back then?
So it's called Untold Hall of Shame on Netflix. Give that a hoon.
Yeah, I abused the sports documentaries over the weekend. I was a bachelor. Got into the old Israel Adesanya one.
Oh, yep.
As well. God, being a cage fighter is one of the most intense jobs that you could ever have. So feast or famine. You might dedicate your entire life to it, finally hit the big time, get knocked out 4 times, and then that's your career. Sure, now you can't remember where your house keys are. Like, is it worth it?
And also, your knockouts are all over YouTube forever.
Oh, yeah. No, anyone can look up
you
getting knocked out in your undies in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah.
That's brutal. But yeah, Gack shout out to him. Australian 16-year-old running 10.2. He could be the next Usain Bolt. I don't know. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, a little bit of yours, please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
Just a couple to get through. First caller here. Yours, please.
Yeah, g'day, Murray. Long time, first time. Just on Heath, talking about not allowed to wear the medal unless you won it. The Stanley Cup, apparently, if you touch it without having won it, you won't win it. So Manaia will never win a gold medal like Michaela Blythe. Hooroo. Fuck Hamilton.
Oh, hey.
So last week we had the photo shoot for Game of Two Halves, and Michaela Blythe was there. She brought a gold medal with her, as she is wont to do. And I put it around my neck, and Heath was like, "Oh, that's some sort of curse," which I had never heard of.
Yeah, it's bullshit curse.
Yeah.
And also, you're never going to win a gold medal.
Well, not now.
No, you're never going to win a gold medal.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
No, we know.
Well, we know now. But
I can't even compete in the women's under 49 kg weightlifting. You're not competing in anything.
We don't know. Well, the thing is, we'll never know. Because
that's a made-up curse. That's Heath. Heath is going around firing curses off just as a smokescreen for his Pinot Noir curse. That's what he's doing.
They've been pretty quiet lately.
Oh, yeah.
They've been real quiet lately. I wonder if they're going to disband next year.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine they will. But, I think he was desperately looking for any kind of curse.
Yeah.
To try and transfer onto me. I'm just gutted that that's the end of my Olympic dream, because up until now, anything was possible. And now I've just found out that I'll never win an Olympic gold. Despite the fact that Michaela Blythe told me that I did win an Olympic gold, because that is New Zealand's gold.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice of you.
I know. That's why I was saying to Heath, like that.
Did you arm wrestle her?
God, no. Fuck no. Her arms are, she's jacked.
I know. That photo, I was like, she'd pick you up like the Ultimate Warrior and toss you across the room.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, it was a toss-up between her wearing that singlet or me, so I'm glad that she
it's good.
ended up with that, and then I got the blazer. All right, one last one before we knock this one on the head. Caller, yours, please.
G'day, fellas. Just out walking the dog again. How good's this week been without G Lane? Some good conversation. Jeremy Wells. Oh, God, he knows his cricket. Yeah. Fuck G Lane.
Fucking hell, fuck Hamilton and a fuck G Lane. Fuck, it's good to be back.
It's good to have you back as well. Keep those coming through. I reckon we knock this thing on the head before G Lane just starts ripping this place to bits. That'll do us for today's episode. We'll be back tomorrow for a Tuesday episode of the Agenda Podcast.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda Podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.